What's up, motherfoxers? Well, if you seen my short, you seen the horror wheel. We're gonna get that on there today. And I got my fitting. So let's start from there and see where this video takes us. Alright. So, I've never put a fitting on a hose attached to the car. We always had this to help us out. So this will be fun. I've also thought of something else that I might do here, because I think if I do get a splash guard, somebody had mentioned that it attaches right here. It does. Pretty sure it does. And maybe we can cut a hole. But we could also bring this hose around the frame rail up to here. So I want to play around with that for a minute, and then we'll see what happens. Before I get to that, I want to show you a couple of things that I did get inside here that I talked about. So this line right here is to the brake switch, which wasn't working very well. And the problem was, I bought a new brake switch. We thought something was wrong with it. Didn't have time to deal with it, so I just bought a new one, not knowing if it was the problem or not. And I had the brake switch pointing down, so it just would swing. Well, then when I got up in here and really looked at it, I had to turn it this way so it can't move. It gets put on the brake booster shaft so it can't move. And I was like, well, the old one, there was nothing wrong with it. So we got that in a box. We'll save it for later. And then there's this box right here. Okay. This thing was broken and on the floor. So I got on here to see how I could get this thing to stay up there, because I don't really know what it's for. It's plugged. It's got wires to it and stuff. I looked on the other side over here, and there was this magical hole. A magical hole on a whore. Imagine that. And I got a zip tie and put it through there, and so I needed another zip tie, so I got another zip tie. And look at this. This thing's got like two grooves right here and right here that this thing settled right in with this hole. It's like it was meant to be zip tied 35 years later. So that problem is solved. We'll ignore that. You want to be on video too? Huh? Are you gonna leave me now? Okay. You want that door open, don't you? It's kind of chilly out here, babe. We'll wait a while on that one. But anyway, so upon further review here, that hole is where you put the little Christmas tree for the inner fender, I believe. I think that's another one. And right here, I believe, is where the fuel lines went under. So I went ahead and pulled this over, and it would come in right there. I mean, the gas line's there, heat shield will be over it. And if I do that, see what I'm saying? Totally unnecessary. We got a couple of new fittings for no reason. Yeah, I think that'll work probably better. Wasn't really thinking about that. I thought, for some reason, I thought it was like over here, but yeah, I think they think that goes in there, and that's where the lines went, was like right in here. I know I've probably shown this before, but these are my $10 Harbor Freight heavy shears here. And everybody says, you know, use a cutting wheel, but watch this. nice and clean. Now for the hard part. Doing this on the car. Thankfully, the evil fittings are really, really tight. This fitting I got to use here that came with that other regulator is a lot forgiving. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this back around so I can get to it and take this completely off. That's great, man. These things are reusable, so pretty awesome. This is turning the whole hose, man. Boom. There we go. Now the only thing I gotta worry about here with a splash guard is that right there. So these fucking Harley Davidsons, dude. Loud pipes don't save lives, smart drivers do. F you and your goddamn Harley. I'd rather have a Kawasaki. I know that's, people say, it's un-American. Hey, screw you. I like Indians. I just really hate Harleys. I never used to, but I've grown to hate them. Anyway, off of that rant. Yeah, I think that's probably the only spot I have a problem, because I think that's another hole for a Christmas tree right there. So, but you can't install a splash guard if you don't have one. It's just that simple. But yeah, let me get these tightened up, and then we'll charge the fuel system. Hopefully that, I forgot to put a piece of tape on there when I cut that. But it doesn't come back to bite me. I was able to tighten this down sheerly by the holding on to this 3/4 inch wrench and gripping this with my strong hand. For some reason I have unusually strong hands. I have no idea why. I just do. It's one of my great attributes. But yeah. So tighten that up and that'll be done. Hillbillies, guys. I've taken everything apart in this car. Not the steering wheel. Bolt was loose. It was freaking loose when I started to do this. And we've discovered that I think they're Pittsburghs, right? Mm-hmm. 1/2 inch 12 points. They're wrong. They're not right. I put a 15 on here and it just slipped. So I went and got a 9/16. It slipped. They fit about the same. So then I got a 3/8 Pittsburgh and put the 15 on there and there's no slop. This happened before my drive shaft with the same sockets. I wonder if those are SCA mismarked.
It's a possibility.
Because when
a possibility. Come from China.
Yeah, when you look at the 3/8 or you look at the 9/16, or no, when you go to the 3/8 and get a 15 and then put a 15 1/2 inch up to it, it's visibly bigger than the other one. The 1/2 inches. So yeah, I think they're mislabeled because it fit exactly just like the 9/16 did. So there's that. Now we got to get 2 screws. I think this is actually a steering wheel pull. Yeah, we've used this to pull freaking balancers off engines several times.
Try to get the wheel a yank and we come right off.
Let's see. Yeah, it ain't coming off. Yeah, we just got to find these 2 things. We got a couple here, but they don't screw in. They only go in a couple of threads and stop. So search continues on that. All right. So what have we learned? Well, we learned our steering wheel pulled probably way too many harmonic balancers.
You sit on too many irons.
Too many harmonic balancers, and the whole threaded shaft is messed up. We also learned we don't have dies big enough to clean that out. So then I went to Lowe's to get these. We found out that was a 5/16 by 24 thread. So I went and bought the bolts for it. And then came back and found out the steering wheel puller ain't going to work because we don't have a die to clean the threads. So solve that problem. I went to Harbor Freight and bought a new one. And since I bought a new one, we got bolts that work. So I didn't need to buy those bolts. So fun stuff. And now we'll just yank this thing out of there. Hopefully. Jeez, it was so simple. Especially when they left the bolt loose for you. But I don't know, these might be too long. I don't know if we need that long. Those ones I think are shorter, aren't they? A little bit. No matter what I do, this will not f***ing work. All right, it's the next day. After my tantrum. Yeah, that pulley doesn't work. It doesn't line up with the screws, but as you can see, the steering wheel is off. I went to Napa to get another one that should work, and while I was there, he's like, "Hey, I got it off." I go, "What? How?" He was in here beating on it with a mallet before I left, and then he gave up on that, and I guess he just did a big yank. It came off. So, and then the other disappointment that just said, "Okay, it's been a bad day, I'm out of here," was this thing. This is the hub, the adapter hub they give you to put on a Ford. Okay, it's not the right one, guys. See this contact back here? It's got to be like this. It's got to have 3 rings. It's got to have 3 wires for that right there. But the 3 wires is hooked to. So when I ordered this, it said, and this is the way it was, it said 84 to 2004 Mustangs. I mean, it's a big range, okay? Mine was in that. It did say fitment note. Non-GT cars only. Okay, so let's review. This is a coupe. It will never ever be mistaken for a GT. It's an LX because it is a coupe, and it used to be a 4-banger. That's 3 things telling you it is a non-GT car. And that is not right. And they don't sell these. I think Momo has one for $100. This is like $18. It came with the kit. I went online and looked, and there was another one that was actually shorter than that with the 3, wires and the 3 contacts. But is it going to work because it's way shorter? Well, wait till you see what it should be here today. That's the only one that I could find that I could get here today, and it's pretty friggin' ironic. So when it gets here, we'll show you. But in the meantime, I want to go ahead and try to get this hood latch put up there, and then we gotta try to get enough room to the latch up there. I don't know why I'm having issues with this one. My other 2 cars that I did this was fine. So I'm gonna deal with that right now until we wait for this hub to get here. And it was just a mess. It was one thing after another. It was a failure. I just said I'm done for the day. So I'm sitting here texting with a friend, and I happen to look up over there and seen this sitting there. I'm like, there's no way that could be the cross member piece for that. I was like, I don't remember having 4 holes. I thought I had 2. I stuck it up in there, and it's exactly what we need. It was randomly laying up there. I took a break because I ran across town to go get this. And you're probably wondering, what the heck is that thing? Check this out. It's a freaking generator, man. My buddy said, hey, anybody want this? He said it turns over, and I'm like, I'll give you $50. He's like, all right, come get it. So, if it don't work, I feel good about losing the $50. I feel less, well, I feel better than what I did if I would have paid $100. Let's just say that. And yeah, it turns over, man. So it turns over. Isn't that pretty cool? So, and the reason why I got this, my dad is good at fixing these small engines. So I just sit here, tinker with it. If it works, we got a generator for $50. Let me go ahead and get this put in. Cool thing is, here's the bolts for this, or the nuts and the screws in there for this are in there. Tag and bag, bag and tag, whatever. And look at that. We got the hood latch mounted. Woohoo! And the brace. There's only 2 screws in it. Turns out there was 2 screws for that, 2 screws for the brace. So, good enough. I didn't get the hub yet, guys. It's supposed to be here today. It's 2:30. It'll probably show up about 8 o'clock. Or later than I want to be out here because I get up for work really early, guys. So, I'm sorry. I was expecting more of this video, and I just got another kick in the balls from this car. So, it wasn't the car's fault. I mean, it was the steering, the whole hub thing. I mean, I've never taken a steering wheel off a Fox before, ever. So, when I took it off and seen that, I was like, oh, are you kidding me? So, not much I can do. I mean, I can go put a fender on, and, you know, it's a little late in the day. I gotta go, it's Mother's Day. I gotta go cook my mom dinner. Yeah, I'm cooking my mom dinner. She wanted that. So what happened today? What do we do? I bought some AN fitting couplers I didn't need. We just rerouted the hose. We got the steering wheel off, which was a task. Found out the tool that I bought don't work. The hood cable, hood release up there. So, yeah, it wasn't a very good video. I'm sorry, you guys are like, you've been dicking around with this for so long. Every video it's like, is he gonna? No, I'm a loser. This is from an idiot more than a loser, but we got a 3,000 watt generator. It maybe works, I don't know. If it does run, does the generator part of it work? Anyway. What a lame ass video, man. So, anyway, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Non-GT cars. Mine couldn't be any more of a non-GT. But the hub don't work. It's the wrong one. So, this is what happens. But it looks good, right? Everything looks good. Carpeting. Let's get this foam out of here. Nah, look at that. It's beautiful. Later, guys.